Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make these crispy, crunchy, salty lentils. They are an incredible snack to serve with a little bit of salt and some lime juice, or you can also use them as a crunchy topping in salads, on top of rice and beans, kind of like a bean on bean situation. Basically, they just have an amazing texture that goes great on top of pretty much anything. To make them, we're going to start with 1 cup of lentils, and we're going to rinse these and sort through them, make sure there's no rocks or any of those weird things that come with lentils. And you want to really be thorough here. I have learned this the hard way. You got to really take your time and rinse these until the water runs clear. You can also soak them and kind of just run through them with your hands. Just make sure you are using super cold water. Okay, so once you've done that, it is time for us to cook our lentils. So we are starting over on our stovetop with a pot of water. I like to use salted water just to help infuse as much flavor as possible into these lentils. We're going to bring the water to a vigorous boil before adding in our clean lentils. Maybe use a bigger pot than I did because you can see this is a struggle. But you know your kitchen, you know yourself best. And then from here, we're just gonna boil the lentils, cook them until they are cooked through, but not mushy. You gotta be careful here to not overcook them because we are going to roast them in the oven after this. So they don't need to be totally tender and soft, but we do want them cooked through. So see the blog post for exact directions. It will depend on the size and the kind of lentils that you have. But I believe I cooked mine for about 15 minutes to get them to that perfect non-mushy but fully cooked stage. Okay, from here, the next step is drying the lentils thoroughly before we go to roast them. Now you could be super patient here and just let them dry through a mesh strainer or on a platter. I like to give them a little bit of assistance by putting them on a paper towel lined plate and just gently, super gently patting them dry. And then once they are fully dry, we are going to transfer them to a baking sheet and we're going to add some oil and some spices. I'm using ras hanout, which is a Moroccan spice blend, but you could use any combination of spices that you like, and make sure to salt them generously. Now, the reason that we took our time with drying these is so that they can absorb all of that oil, they can absorb all of those spices, and they can crisp up really nicely in the oven. Because if you don't give them time to dry, they will not get crispy and crunchy, and that is the best part of this recipe. So once they are all seasoned and evenly tossed together, we're just going to spread them out in a thin layer on our baking sheet. We don't want them to be too crowded or sitting on top of each other, so just take your time to get them evenly spread out here. And then we're just going to roast them until they are crispy and crunchy. They should look a little something like this. It is super easy to burn these, so make sure to stay close and watch them. I like to take about 10 minutes in the oven, pull them out, take a spatula and just kind of toss them around a little bit and then put them back in for another 10 minutes until they look a little something like this. Again, I love to top them with lime juice and salt and just snack on them, but they're also a great snack to just have in a jar on the counter or in the fridge throughout the week to put on salads, rice dishes. Like I said, there's so many different ways to use these. I hope you give them a try and let me know what you think in the comments. Enjoy!